What is up, everybody? Zach here with Crew 42, and we have our lead card coverage here for round 2 at the Kalamazoo Ladies Classic at the beautiful Spring Valley Park. And here on the mic with me, I have Mel Ring. How you doing, Mel?
I'm doing great, thank you. Beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day today. Thanks to our sponsors, MVP and Axiom Discs, for helping us put on this tournament, as well as all the other organizations. And thank you to our Patreon supporters for helping the Crew 42 get out here and do more coverage. It's always great to do FPO coverage. It's always great to see the great ladies of disc golf playing and battling it out at this tournament. Here are round 1 standings so far. So from the shorts, we have you and Kaylee tied at 9 down with a tight race for third place with Sarah and Tiger and the rest of the field. So here you are back on the lead card, tied for first, 9:55 rated round. It's a great way to start the tournament. And then we have Kaylee coming in from another card, her first time being on the channel as well.
Oh man, you guys are in for a treat.
Oh yes, for sure. We have Tiger Borth here, so she's tied for our third place position, rated 895. She's pretty notable around the FPO community, as well as Sarah DeMar, a well-known champion at very different places. This is the first year I've been able to meet her, but it's been pleasurable to meet her.
Oh, I've been playing with Sarah for years. Yeah,
It's always great to meet her. Hole 1, 307 feet now, so we're playing from the longs in round 2 here. This, again, is not a triple mando, but really what you're just trying to do is either you're trying to take maybe a fairway driver or mid-range and trying to turn it over, or you're trying to maybe lay a big hyzer if you're just trying to play for position. Kaylee looks like she's just going for it.
This girl can play. We were talking before we got started. This girl has game. She is a stud.
Much.
She does not play much, and
but she
boy,
certainly
let me tell you, no doubt about it.
Stingray in your hand here?
No, this is actually an ultralight Wraith. Had to disc up from the first round, so yep.
Good shot selection. Just a little inside, got caught in the tree, but honestly, taking a 3 on this hole feels just fine. It's a pretty tough hole.
Yep, I'm super happy with that.
And as they start forcing people to play it as a triple mando, it's only going to get even harder. Sarah a little low off the tee box there, so she's going to have an upshot there, a little challenging. But as long as she gets up to the gate, she'll have a look there. Looks like Tiger was trying to go for maybe a flip to flat, trying to turn it over with some wind.
Yeah, on this card we've got Kaylee and Tiger big arms, so you're going to see some big shots from both of them throughout the round.
I've been around and watched Tiger outdrive me several times. It's quite
no doubt. You aren't the only person.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a great upshot from Sarah. Sarah is solid, just tons of veteran experience. She's always going to do the right thing mentally. She just does not drop bad strokes. She's a very solid player.
Sit. Yep, you're going to stay in bounds there. Yeah.
Ooh, that was
good upshots from everyone. So everyone's inside of that 40-foot cage. For me personally, as Kaylee starts off with a birdie, which is like, I've never birdied it from that position ever. So, all right then. But one thing I will say is for this particular OB, I really like the 40-foot OB space when it's not a triple mando.
Yep.
Because you can attack over the basket, and so you need to be really controlled. I do hope and wish that in the future that they will expand that OB maybe a little farther if they force it to be a triple mando, because I've played it before where I've hit that gap and I'll just go off the top of the basket, let's say, and then I'll shoot myself 40 feet deep, and then I feel like, or I've even been 21 feet. That's the one that I'm thinking about in my own head, where I'm 21 feet deep, and I'm like, why am I OB? I'm still inside circle.
Yeah. 100%.
But none of it's well designed. It's just the one thing. If they make it a triple mando, I'd like there to be more space behind it so I don't get quite so hard punished. But it's still, I love that whole lot.
I think that rewards the gutsy play too.
Yeah. Hole 2, 420 feet now. We're starting inside of the tennis court there. Again, it's not a triple mando. There's been some casual events out here where they did make it a mando, but it is not for this particular event. Depending on how big your arm, going through the gap is just fine anyway.
Well, here's a big arm.
Here's one coming.
I mean, come on, this girl.
I mean, this is flying like a world. This is crushed. She's put herself in probably C2 edge. She's probably sitting at 60 feet.
Yeah, I would say she threw that 350. Yeah, great drive.
What are you throwing there? Is that Shrike?
Yeah, no, that's actually a wraith. That's an ultralight wraith.
Oh, I've not seen that one. I've only seen the white one up to this point.
I throw a lot of wraiths. Yep, yep.
It's a good disc, so it's a good choice.
Yes, great disc.
Sarah, I'm assuming, is throwing something along a Thrasher line, I would imagine, based on that turn.
Yeah, yep. I am not sure. It's
Good
maybe you'll
pump
get a
from her.
close up of it, but yeah.
It was a good pump.
And then another just huge arm here. Let's see where this one goes.
Yeah,
A
and
little bit left.
yeah, we had mentioned it earlier. So the temperatures were already toasty in round one, and now they are
Oh,
scorching in round two.
yeah.
I'm
It's
already sweating.
it's blistering out there, and I'm like I said, I spent most of my life in Texas, so for me to say that, trust me, it was hot.
It's a real statement.
Yeah.
You're sitting probably 20 feet away or so.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, all the wind bounces here. It's hard to tell how much wind there is because the fact that we have a lot of open space here, and so you can't really see it very well, but this is a swirling wind space.
Yep.
So you can see tigers bouncing up and down. Looks like Sarah picked something or put something on super hyzer to kind of avoid that wind bounce. So she's put herself right next to the basket.
Again, just great course management player. So you're going to see always a smart play from her, almost always. Yep.
For sure. Looks like a couple of casual players are coming through here. They didn't know there was an event. We had to turn some people away. we had too good a disc golf going on. We didn't need to
Yeah.
interrupt it with other people. Tough putt for Tiger there. There's a lot of
Yeah.
wind going on.
Tiger's a low, she has a low trajectory on her putts as per usual anyway.
Yep.
So that was a good finish for me. I definitely had a little jitters going on at this point in the round, so that was
Yep.
good to can that one.
And getting a 3 on this hole feels fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for coming from the tennis courts there, definitely, it's a good 3.
Yeah, the shorts you kind of like. It feels like you should be able to reach it, but from the longs, it's you taking a 3 feels okay, and the 4 happens because, like I said, swirling wind. So you leave your,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of give it a more run than you wanted. You end up 25 feet away, and it's a tough comeback putt to make.
Yep.
Hole 3. This is, in my opinion, the most
Oof.
difficult hole to attack. 343 feet, but it's straight uphill. It's probably 60 to 80 feet straight up, and then it flattens out to where that you saw the short pad in round 1. You have 2 gaps to attack. You can either attack that left gap or right gap to attack the basket. And a 3 here, I'd probably call a par on this on a normal tournament at a 3.5, but it feels like a birdie when you get that 3.
Yeah, and this little tight gap at the beginning forces you to, make a decision right off the tee pad. You can't let it go really left or right much. You got to kind of peer it up the middle and then let the disc do what it's going to do. So
yeah, the first shot too, you have to get to the top of the hill to have a chance.
you do. Yep.
If you're in the bottom of the hill at all, you're playing for the 4. And if you're
Yep.
getting too aggressive, you're going to take a 5. It just happens.
And I threw a good shot there, like same thing, but I hit a tree late that really just stopped my progression altogether. So
there was a little confusion from the card too. I remember as Sarah gets literally top of the hill perfectly. There was a little confusion about where the pad stopped. So the reason the boards are built there is because you can see the runoff is really crazy. And so they built it there, but that is still technically the end of that pad there. As Tiger literally gave the perfect
bombed it. It was a great shot. That was like so peered right up the gut. It was lovely.
I would take that all day.
Absolutely.
Here's your second shot. You're just following along the.
I'm just trying to advance up the fairway, as much as I can. And I didn't think I could probably get close enough to the basket to have a good putt at it, but
you'll have
a
long look for sure.
Yeah.
Sarah's trying to really attack up towards the basket, and there she does. She's 10, 12 feet away.
Very good shot. Yep.
Kaylee had a hyzer route, which is difficult to do on this hole because you want to throw usually understable coming up the hill, but she's going to be forehanding out from this position. Looks like with a putter, 20, 25. That'll be a tester, but probably well within her repertoire.
Yeah, and also just shows you the versatility of her game to have that good forehand there, touch shot.
Yep. Park job for Tiger. The easiest 3 you can get on the hole. That's
Tiger played it. It was a clinic. That was a clinic for her.
A little tree kick to the left there, but you're still well within circle.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay with a 4 on this hole.
Kaylee's stagger stance is not very wide. I've noticed a lot of players who play that stagger position. People think usually Kevin Jones, who like does the
Yeah,
splits, right?
sure, sure,
But
sure. Yeah.
she's very narrow, but she generates a lot of power with that consistent arm and elbow release that she has. She's very consistent. She gets quite a bit of power out of it.
Yeah, yeah. Her momentum toward the basket is very good. Ooh, that's a rough one for Sarah there.
Yeah, and uncharacteristic for her too.
Definitely. She doesn't miss many of those. I play with her a ton because we're both masters age, so we play masters tournaments together a lot. And honestly, this was my first FPO tournament in a couple years, so hadn't played with some of these ladies in quite a while.
It's good to have a familiar face.
Yeah, except for Sarah. Yeah, so we play together a lot.
Hole 4, 239 feet per. So the camera's actually going to take this wide hyzer gap. It's actually not the gap I would recommend. There's an inside gap that a lot of MPO players will jump putt through. They'll throw a really soft putter through the center gap there. But the hyzer gap is the one that's taken very frequently. Either one is just fine. I'm just comfortable with the jump putt. And you see Kaylee there sticking her tongue out.
Yeah,
Not what
yeah, she wasn't happy with that. It's a tricky little shot. You got to keep it low, and you gotta really fight through. It's a lot of luck.
Yep.
I did not keep it low and did get lucky. So there you
Yeah,
have it.
that's fine. Hitting the gap and at least being there, at least you're almost guaranteeing a much easier 3. And all of you are actually taking the inside gap in this position.
Yep.
Ooh, and a tree hit there leaves her right at circle's edge or so, maybe just a
Oh
touch
yeah,
outside.
she even flew by the basket. Yeah.
Yep. That's the inside gap is the way. Oh, unfortunate there from Tiger. But the inside gap is the way for the ace run. That's really, if you're trying to get an ace run, that's the gap you have to take.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You played there much more than me, so I'm going to take your word for it. But yeah, it's a point and shoot for sure.
Yep. A lot of trees that can get in your way for sure. Tiger's looking like she's trying to take a big wide gap and just trying to avoid that. A little bit of a roll. Yes. Get that up there.
Wow, that was nice and fortunate right there.
Yep. Trying to use that hill. There is that slanting hill there. Oh no.
Oh, brother. Yep. Sometimes you just don't see those little tiny branches that, especially if you don't play a course a lot, you can be looking at the longer line and then miss these little things. And thank God that one went in.
Yes. Didn't matter, right? Still a 3.
Mm-hmm. No pictures on the scorecard is what they say, right?
That's right. If we had to put pictures on the scorecard, I would very much be in trouble. People would be highly questioned.
Might be time to quit playing at that point.
So right before Sarah putts this.
Oh gosh, this is it. Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Chad had the camera angle just away from it, and I never.
Oh my gosh.
So there was a 30-foot limb that was 6 inches thick at the smallest point. It was probably a foot thick in its thickest point. Landed 2 feet behind me.
She moved, and there was something where also we got delayed or we were waiting, and so she putted and then waited, or she was waiting to putt. I can't remember,
Yep.
but she moved out of that space that limb fell.
Yep.
At just the right time. It was unbelievable, and I'm not kidding you. We would have had an emergency room visit, if not worse.
Yeah,
if that hadn't been the case.
The term widowmaker it was very real in that moment. And
yeah, because nobody heard it. Nobody heard it until it hit the ground.
Yeah, and I'm very happy it didn't. And it's not something I'm very used to. I've been at Spring Valley a lot, but now every time I come to the hole, I always look up. But
I bet.
It's just pretty rare. Hole 5 now, 240 feet, so it's a little farther back than the original position, or the short position, I should say. You're throwing almost an identical shot, or a shot that will stay straight longer before it fades to the left. See what Kaylee's got for us. Low is okay, but you're probably not attacking the basket.
Nope. But you are going to probably get quite a bit of skip up because it is eroded, and that's just a lot of dirt there. So
I remember Sarah, after we finished that hole, we came up to the pad and she's like, "Yeah, let's just play this hole and get out of the woods."
Yeah, it was definitely had everybody's heart rate up. Everybody was rattled by it. I gotta I guess, okay roll there. I don't know if I had a better angle after the roll or if it would have been better to stay up. But
Yeah, so I think you have probably equivalent just from my experience here. This
yeah,
shot's been really good from Sarah.
that's a beaut. Yep.
And that's a mantis, in
There
case
you
you were
go. A
wondering.
mantis.
But your roll is probably okay. If it had rolled another 5-6 feet to the right, it would have been bad.
Yeah.
Because you
Okay.
would have had more plinko trees to like get in your way. Looks like Tiger picked another disc. She was trying to get to that flip up and just didn't quite flip up fast enough as she got into that early right side or left side, excuse me, of the fairway. But her upshot is up there. She should be able to get that one in.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I remember taking the stance for this upshot right here, and everybody's looking up, and like you're you're just hoping nothing else like that happens.
Yep. And this is a tricky green to attack. It's very, very keen on rollaways.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
almost
Just
it's almost hard to like justify running it because I feel like if I hit the basket, I'm guaranteeing taking a putt farther away.
yeah, that makes sense. I could see that.
I run it anyway. That's why I play AM.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
When I start making it, that's when I start playing pro.
there you go. There you go.
All right, Tiger's got her.
That's a
Par
good
putt in.
in right there. Yeah, that's not an
Yeah.
easy putt from there.
Yep, good recovery too, and it feels like there's a death putt just everywhere but
Exactly.
from your
Yeah,
spot.
that's right.
Your spot feels safe, and everywhere else is a
Exactly. Yeah.
little nerve-wracking. Sarah's got some great shoes rocking today. Did
She
not notice
does.
those in the day of. She's got some pink laces going on. I'm a little jealous right now. I'm a guy who loves to wear pink, and I'm a little jealous of those shoes. I'll
Yeah.
100% admit that.
I can see why.
Hole 6 now, 296 feet. Again, farther back from the original short pad. This hole has a ton of teeth to it from the long position. You can get yourself in trouble really quickly, let alone the water behind the basket as well and the drop-off. You're really just trying to get something straight up that gut, and you're trying to get it nowhere else other than straight.
Yep.
It's got a miss. Now, unfortunately, she leaks that probably 1 foot too far to the right, and she kicks that. One of the two guardian trees you really got to miss is that big one in the center left there and the skinnier one on the right. Yeah, perfect. You're missing everything. Is that the Stingray?
It was. You know it.
And you hit the last little cluster of trees that guard right there, and so if you missed that, you probably would have been in circle, but still great looking shot off the tee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to Chad, who is in the bush right now, it looks like.
Yeah. First time meeting you guys out there. You guys did a superb job of being where you needed to be and being out of the way when you needed to. It was
Thank you.
good
Appreciate it.
coverage. Yeah.
Tiger, okay, let me phrase it this way. If you want to throw this hole, that's what you should do.
Yeah. That's pretty ideal.
Yeah.
That goes without saying, right?
That was spectacular. I don't think I've ever done that on this hole ever. Kaylee with an unfortunate try to forehand out and got
Yeah, I think she just lost some focus right there. I mean, she is a relaxed, fun player. She's always got a smile on her face.
Yep.
So yeah, I was really surprised. I think maybe she just had a lapse in focus.
One thing, oh no. She goes down the
Ooh.
trying to save
Yep.
that 3 there, got aggressive, and now she's gonna have a tough putt to try to save the bogey.
Mm-hmm.
You're just laying this up, or you giving it a half run there?
You know, I think I was thinking layup, but then the adrenaline is kicking too, so it could have gone a little farther than it did. Thank goodness it didn't.
Oh no. And just like that, that layup for the 4 turns into a 5, just like that. That's how dangerous this green can be.
That's right. Yep.
And just like
Yeah,
that, tied.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking right there. I mean, I try not to focus too much on what another player is doing, but that was, in the back of my mind right there. I think because we started off tied, it was easy to keep up with, and I knew that swung us back to even.
So I left that little clip of Tiger in there because it's such an important point that I think a lot of players, especially in division, don't take advantage of, and it's just a pro play that I really liked where she's been struggling a little bit off the green so far up to this point, and even though that was a 10-footer, she did a whole routine to get herself back to calm, back to comfortable, and get that tap-in birdie so that she can move on. I really was like, oh, I should do that more often. Hole 7, 257 feet over the water. I love this hole. You can't throw lefty or forehand because the big tree on the left is just a spike hyzer with a putter or mid-range or fairway if you have a better distance control with it. But with today, we had a little bit of wind. It can definitely mess some stuff up. Tires
Yep.
are way up.
I mean, way up. And, you know, with that wind, I wasn't really sure how that was going to turn out. Turned out all right for her. This is one of those infamous for me, like, you know, I threw this one perfectly in practice. Well, luckily it's not going to get wet, but it definitely out of my hand was not the
Yeah, that's definitely more
shot I
at
wanted.
the basket than you want to be. You definitely want to be a little more of a wider.
And I was tracking right for those trees, and they were nice to me again as they were in the first round. So
those trees are notorious too for not being very friendly.
Well, I don't know what I did right, but
they just like you a lot.
Man, that was beauty. That was a beauty. A little bit long, but I mean, she's down there and
for sure. She's making the correction there. She saw two people kind of throw a little short, so she tried to club up maybe.
Yep.
This is also right at the basket. She's already calling for it to come down, and it will not. She's going to sail that right past the OB marker.
Yeah. Oh, I'd forgotten that she did that. Yeah. That was just, I would say, you know, I'm not sure why she's throwing a driver there would just be my question to her.
Right. I mean, there's you tickled the chains again. Stop teasing everyone.
I know.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons you might club up. Like I said, for her power too, I would throw a putter, but she might not have an overstable enough putter for the hole.
Yeah.
Because I used to throw not wizards. I don't throw wizards. I make fun of people who throw wizards and then feel bad about it. But
oh, jeez.
I threw wardens. That's what they used to be, and I couldn't ever throw that over that water. It would have gone flipped over to the right. That's a shout out to Nate. I make fun of him throwing wizards, but he's a really good putter, so I'm allowed to. Sarah,
so that's a real smart veteran play there.
Yeah, she was super uncomfortable. She could not get any footing. There was no relief from her, so she just
just take your 3 and move on. Yep.
Oh, no, Tiger missing right, and then the ugly roll into the woods or into the weeds there.
Yeah, that left her with a worse putt than she had from the get-go. Which
it always feels bad to miss and then get hard punished.
No doubt about it. Yeah. You know, the thing about Tiger's putt too is she is a pretty good putter at times, but then, you know, she does have this style that is not friendly if you miss. Let's put it that way.
Right. She's a very confident putter is how it
works. She's going right at the basket and hard. So if it misses, you know, you're by.
She reminds me of like Dan Treese, who's a spin putter that when he's on, it's on. But if he can definitely find himself a little past the basket there. Yeah,
I played in a tournament with her a couple weeks ago, and it was on, and she just slayed the field. She was every aspect of her game was good a couple weeks ago. So
Sarah giving a friendly wave to the crowd.
Yeah,
the COVID crowd of 2 cameramen.
There you go. Yeah.
Hole 8 now, 300 feet. Again, this is just backed up farther behind the original short pad, but I really like the position on this one as it requires from the shorts probably a mid-range turnover shot, and now you have to kind of club up to that driver and really have control of this that has to go pretty far to the right and uphill at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good angle, just a little short there.
Yep. I was pretty happy with it. Just caught a little limb. It's okay. You know, again, it's probably a 3. I was thinking 3 would be the play here.
Yep. 3. You're not losing a whole lot of strokes if you take a 3.
Yeah. I mean, getting it up that hill is tough. So I'd really have to huck it. Now you're going to see the big arms here that definitely can get it up those.
People who definitely want to attack. This is looking really good.
Yeah.
It stays in the air. And actually, thinking about this, I actually recall thinking from my spot how fast those discs dropped out of the air.
Yeah. Yeah, now that I'm rewatching it after so long, it might have been a little bit of a wind.
Tailwind
We might have had some wind issues there.
Good excuses, right? That's what we're trying to find.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And my memory isn't what it used to be either.
Hey, don't worry. None of ours is. And Sarah with a good bid there. I think that's a Paige
that was nice.
Pierce.
It is, I believe. Yep. That
He puts
sounds
it very
right.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Jump putt from Kaylee, just a touch short. You can see she wanted it.
Yeah, it's a good look.
It's within her range. Here's you. Yeah, everything just a touch low. I think that wind is getting us more than. There's not enough trees around us to see the wind, dang it.
Yeah.
As we're going to tap in our threes here. Tiger just lining back up after that last hole, making sure that she's going to get back to that putting that she needs to be doing.
Yep, just try to focus on your routine more than the putt itself. Get you out of your head.
Right? The biggest opponent on any given day at disc golf is yourself.
Yep. 20 years in, I can verify that.
All right, heading into hole 9. For those of us that have been around and seen the course before, this is old hole 1, 288 feet from the short. So the camera is going to take this inside gap. So for people like you are going to attack that center gap and try to attack it, probably is the smart play. Yep. I'm going to guess you're probably throwing either your wraith or your shrike. Oh, it's not. What is that?
This is my shrike. You were right.
This is shrike. Okay, you're taking the wide gap there, which is the second.
Yeah, and I was pretty happy with that play, honestly. I would have hoped for a little bit more skip, but that's okay. Yep. It's safe.
That is the safe play for not only distance, but if you get it. And this is a really spicy line. I love that inside gap. That's exactly what you should do. If you have enough power, you can give yourself that 2 look.
Yep. That was a good shot.
For sure. I think this hole was aced in round 1 by one of the other divisions, which is why you see that LP right up against the basket.
Oh, nice. I did not know that. Yeah, Kaylee, I'm not sure again what she was going for there. I mean, that's a tricky shot to keep it low, and like Tiger's trying it there too. I just think the percentages aren't really in your favor trying to shoot those.
Right. I know there are a couple players who are not comfortable enough with their backhands. Like I've seen Marweed throw up the gut with a Firebird because that's just what he's comfortable with. But for both of those ladies, they have more than enough power and hyzer control where I think that they should be playing that outside gap.
That's what I would expect. And maybe, I don't know how often either of them had played this course either. So
also true.
Maybe like me, it's like, okay, if I had that to do over again, I would have tried something else. I don't know.
For sure. It definitely feels, though, like when you're on the pad, it feels like the straight gap is the way that you attack the basket. Because Sarah was really good. Sarah's really good, but she's still in C2 position. And so if you play tricks on you, too, and be like, oh, then I don't want a C2, but I want to try to get it parked.
Yeah. Yep.
Lots of factors into making that kind of decision.
Yep.
Sarah with a tap-in 3 there.
Yeah, and that looked, again, just like a conservative play, just to get up there and take her 3 and try to avoid the rollaway.
Bang. Kaylee, who was in
what a great putt.
All sorts of trouble. Does a little, I don't even know how to explain that. Patent pending putt, maybe? Like, she kind of come out there and just gave a wrist snap.
I have no idea where the gap was there for her to putt that through.
I don't think there was one. I think she just pushed
through. Yeah.
But you guys are all going to walk away with pars. Considering, Kaylee was in a rough spot there. So this is going to be a good par frame for you guys.
Yeah, it's gettable for 2, but it's fine. A 3 is fine there.
Yep. You're not losing a whole lot of strokes if you take
No, I don't think so. Especially, I mean, we're on the lead card, so what everybody's doing there. So, sometimes you have to adjust your play accordingly.
And for you and Kaylee, too, you guys had a pretty comfortable lead going into the second round. So, like, playing for a 2 there, but maybe taking a 4 from a bad kick isn't the play.
Yeah, that's right.
Hole 10 now, 235 feet. The camera's taking this dead straight gap, but the reality is the tree that we passed in the center of the fairway, we probably want to push something to the left of it with a flippy fairway is usually what I throw. But I think the first 3 off the tee are going to choose something different.
Yeah, I've got my strike out again. Maybe I was just feeling comfortable with it. No, that was a miss for me, but just a little bit low and a little farther outside than I wanted.
You're trying to be like closer to that sign, maybe?
Yeah, the sign really gets in your head.
Oh
It
yeah.
shouldn't. It maybe shouldn't, but um, yeah, it definitely was in there somewhere when I was letting go of it. Just wanted to be out and around it.
Sarah, hitting that gap I think you were aiming for as she gets herself into circle.
Yeah,
She just threw a little
exactly.
higher and let it
Yep.
happen.
Yeah, and Sarah's a great player for, hitting her lines. She's very good at hitting those lines that she wants to hit
Tiger's taking the straight gap right up the gut.
and just powering it. I think, maybe trying to use that power to just also hope that if it does catch something, it's still going to advance.
Right. That was a mid-range from out of her hand for sure. I'm not sure what
Yeah.
it was, but
Yep.
and that's a great upshot there from.
Yeah. Kaylee's just kind of plugging away here, taking her pars, taking what the course is giving her.
Yeah,
She's,
great putt
oh, that's terrific.
on that one in. Yeah, as much as the shorts are a deuce and die, the longs are very much like you need to capitalize on the opportunities it gives you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
Yeah,
give
you have to change your game plan quite a bit coming into these longs. And like I said, I mean, to have played 24 holes already, even though they were the shorts, and then be trying to tackle the longs was a challenge.
at 96 degrees with 80.
Yeah, no doubt. Hmm. Yeah.
It's definitely getting brutal.
Yeah, I run out of gas when on these last few holes of this round for sure. And like I said, I mean, the COVID experience too is just unique.
Yeah, it just affects everyone very differently.
Yeah.
Hole 11 now, 248 feet. This is probably one of the most technical holes on the course.
I agree.
You really need to throw. So this is what my play is. This is based on my experience as well as talking to players like Andrew Marweed, who says he never goes for the basket. Instead, he throws it to the base of that hill.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a hole where in practice I threw my Roadrunner perfectly, right?
Yep.
So I knew it was doable. Now I did not execute when I get up there, but going from one of the easiest holes in the shorts to this is one of the hardest holes from the longs. I mean, that turnover has to be pinpoint.
Yes.
And if you don't make it like what just happened to me, you are going to be in some thick stuff over there on the left.
Yep, you and Kaylee are both like in.
Yeah, we're both.
Rough,
Yep.
rough stuff.
No doubt.
Sarah's shot is pretty ideal. Tiger's here.
It was great.
Also looking really good. That's actually like a phenomenal shot. I think Tiger probably wants farther up the hill than that spot, but the angle was really good.
She may, but after you see other people getting in this stuff, you got to be happy with being out there in the open.
For sure. You're taking an easy three and they're scrambling for.
Yeah, I had to take my medicine there. There was nothing.
You just kind of poking through. You're right along the edge there. There's actually like you can't tell, but there's a little gap in the bush.
Yeah.
Tiger was telling me that she was pretty happy with.
Oh, yeah. She loves that disc, and why not? You got an Elaine King signature on it. I mean, that's royalty. Disc golf royalty.
She lays it up there for that easy three. Kaylee looks like she's just taking her medicine too and laying up for that four.
Yeah.
Sarah, so this is a pretty ideal spot for where Sarah landed. You get yourself a C2.
100%. Yeah.
And honestly, on this particular hole, I would prefer a C2 look because I want to jump it.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, so where I was, I couldn't even get out now as I'm watching this, I'm remembering. I couldn't even get out, so I just...
You almost just dunked it.
Yeah. This was a struggle bus right now for me, and you're going to have that. You have to, if you play as long as I've been playing, you just know there's going to be some streaks in there that you're just going to be struggling, and you got to weather them as best you can, and
that's right.
Try to come out on the other side without losing too many strokes.
You can't lose your baby there.
I know, this hill, boy, woo.
Yeah, there's, like you said earlier, these hills definitely can get you winded.
Your stroller can get away from you quickly.
All right, we got one last hole on this front 12 here. I really like this hole, both from the shorts and the longs. It requires a good technical shot. From the longs here, you're trying to keep it just over this long grass, get it into the gap low, right where the drone is flying, for your best chance. Reaching the hole itself in the air is pretty difficult, near to impossible, but skipping up to the basket is the play. Like getting a fairway driver into that gap, you can skip.
Yeah,
up.
I agree. You kind of want to aim low and try and hit the hill and hope that you get some ride up the hill, because it's mostly dirt. So.
Yep. And that was pretty close to perfection outside.
That was wonderful. That was a terrific shot.
Yeah, I wish I could do that every time.
Yep.
The other play, so I think Tiger kind of turns this one over a little too much. But the other play is to try to take that wide gap and try to hyzer it in. It's just not as open.
Which is probably what I'm attempting here, yeah.
Yep, you're trying to take that strike and let that do its natural flight.
Yep.
Smart choice. Kaylee literally hitting that gap perfectly, like centered wise, and it just lifted through that wind and caught that catching canopy.
Yeah, just knocked her straight down. Yeah.
Interestingly enough, from the shorts, there's a perfect thumber gap over the top of that canopy.
Oh boy.
But you lose the ability to throw that from the longs because the angle just isn't any good.
Yeah.
But if her disc had bounced, let's say, really high up and then hit that gap, she would have been pushing farther forward for sure. But it's not a play I would ever recommend. Ooh, as you go off the basket.
Yeah, that would have been a fun one.
Quit teasing us. Just make it.
I know. Believe me. Believe me.
You're trying.
Try my best.
Some solid birdies here on the back of this 12 stretch.
Yeah. Yep.
Birdie and some of the harder.
That's how she rolls. It's a good position to be in, I mean, being back there and just looking up to the leaders. I mean, you can go for broke, and she's got a nice cushion on Tiger, so she's really got nothing to lose. Just keep plugging away. One thing you would be thinking about in this round is that you've got 24 holes.
Right.
So that's a lot more space to be able to make up strokes than you normally would have. The other thing is she plays with me a lot, so she knows my game, and we've all seen each other have our struggles, and you can never count yourself out. I mean, certainly it was a big cushion, but she's approaching it exactly the way you would want to. She's already made up 3 strokes on me in half the course. So.
Right. Take it, so far you guys are pretty. Sarah's the hot one, only one under par right now. You and Kaylee are just a couple, 2 and 3 over respectively. Looking to hold on to that lead into this back 12 coming up next.
Yeah.
See you guys then.